Hello, everyone. This recording is meant for middle school cyber chat. I apologize, everyone, for not being able to be in class today. This is Mrs. Sheffers. I will unfortunately have to miss this afternoon, but I did want to put together a little presentation for you. I've never had a chance to use the Screencast-O-Matic recording before, so I thought today would be a good day to try that for you. What should I do about worries? Sometimes it seems like there are lots of things to worry about. For example, students can be worrying about their grades and their report card. Students can be worried about their friends and what their friends are doing, how their relationships are going. Students can be worried about bad weather at times. And finally, students may be worried about how they're coming across in class, especially if they're not so good at gym. Maybe they're worried about how they are going to look in front of their peers. Now, I realize that you guys are in cyber school at this point, but even if you're playing with friends on a playground, you may feel a little bit self-conscious in that area, and that's okay because that's something that, a lot of other students may also be worrying about. So I just wanted to get you thinking about these things. What do you worry about? Please take a few seconds and I really want you to think about what is on your mind. And then I want you to think, am I addressing these things with my teachers, my parents, or other adults that I may trust? Make sure that you are using some strategies to help you. It may be on your mind that, a family member may not be feeling well. And I'm going to get more into that here in a couple of slides. But I want you to have this in the back of your mind because I also want to know what you do when you are worried. Did it work for you? Do you take a break from things? Maybe perhaps you draw. Maybe you have a special sketch pad and you draw in your notebook. I want you to think of some reasons why this teen might be worried. I want you to take a look at this teen. Look at her body language. This teen has worry in her eyes. She's got her hand on her head. She's got her head down. She definitely does not have a smile on her face. There could be dozens, hundreds of reasons why she is worried. She could be worried that she got a bad grade on a recent test. She could be worried about some of her relationships. However, it is important that we talk today about some of the things that might worry us and what we can do about those. And as I said, I left this box open because I want you to think about maybe what she could be worried about. Please discuss that at home when you are watching this video. A strategy that you may want to use: keep a worry box or possibly write in a journal. I know it seems like something that maybe a younger student might do, but maybe just keep a little box, even if it's a shoebox, under your bed. And if you have something that you're worried about, maybe you cut out a picture of it and put it in there. Visit it. Visit it a month from now, and then you can say, oh my, I was worrying about that, but I was able to deal with it. And oh my, well, I'm not really as worried about that anymore. The same thing with writing a journal. It's a great idea every night to maybe write about your day, write about your accomplishments, and also maybe write about some goals and things that you have and things that you might be worried about, because later on you can go back and you can look at those things and say, oh, did I meet my goals? Was I able to do that? Do something that makes you feel good when you are in a state of worry. Okay, if you are sitting around and you feel stress going throughout your body, take a walk. Look at this person. It looks like they just climbed a mountain. It's a beautiful sunset. Maybe they climbed it looks like they climbed a rock and it looks like they're looking over the top of the ocean. That would be a great thing to do. And this lady here, it looks like she's kind of celebrating with herself, maybe something good. It looks like just happened at work. It looks like she might be in some work clothes. Whatever would make you feel good. You know, if you do an activity that is a stress reliever, I want you to think about that activity and save that activity for when you need it. Now, of course, exercise is always something that can help us feel better. Even if you're not the most coordinated person, find something that you like to do. If you're not a basketball player, if you're not that good at jumping rope, if you don't skateboard well, go head out and take a walk. But it's proven that exercise will help. So please keep this slide in mind too when you're also worrying about your worries. Figure out how to solve the problem. The four things that we talked about in the beginning, if I'm worried about grades, I can try to study more, of course. And if I'm worried about my friends, I can maybe try to make a new friend. If I'm finding that I'm not getting out of the people that I call my friends what I need, then maybe make some new friends and keep those people in mind if, if for some other reason, or maybe um, you can go ahead and, as I say, explore new options and just be nice and, contact them when they contact you. If I'm worried about bad weather, learn about the storms so that you can be more prepared. Maybe you have an emergency box of canned food or and supplies in your basement. If I'm worried about a gym class, maybe try to keep practicing on your own to try to get better. Why would worries be different or even more difficult for PA Cyber students? I did this slide with another one of the cyber chat sections, everyone, and to be honest with you, I want to I want to talk to you about that slide because for PA Cyber students, you guys are at home a lot. You get a front row seat to things that are going on at home with your families. So I want you to please understand that you need to be able to put some of the family things aside to be able to get your schoolwork done. Because I have a feeling that if you discussed your concerns with your family, they will say to you, "We understand, but we do want you to get your education and come to school." Now, you may find that your worries are different, that you have other worries as well. Maybe because you're at home, you're worried about your little brother or sister who distracts you. And maybe you need to talk with somebody in the house about that so that your little brother or sister or whoever might be there can perhaps give you some privacy or give you the time that you need to finish classes. And this is why I bring this up. So it's important for you to be able to talk about these concerns either with someone in the home or get in contact with me, Mrs. Jeffers, and we'll figure out maybe some suggestions for you. Sometimes you just can't solve a problem. What can you do? Just let it go. There are some things that you cannot change. What we have to do is focus on things that we can do better. If somebody else is doing something or acting a certain way, we can't necessarily change what they're doing, but we can change how we feel. It can be hard to let go, but it helps us to move on so that we don't get stuck and dragged down by our worries. We want to feel free and we want to rid ourselves of our worries so that we can have that carefree attitude and the smile on our face. What do you think? If you're worried because you accidentally broke your neighbor's window, what would you do? Guys, this is a simple thing that might happen. Maybe it did happen to you. There was an accident that happened, and oh my, you had to own up to it, right? I mean, would you run away in this situation and try not to deal with it? But many of you guys are, not of age to move out of your house, so you have to learn to deal with something like this. What I would do is I'd let somebody in your own home know, that this happened and maybe they will help you and go over and knock on the neighbor's door. But in one way or another, it would be important for you to probably apologize to your neighbor. I hope that many of you are thinking that you would, and maybe work out a plan of payment and paying them back. Perhaps maybe there's some yard work or things that can be done to help pay for the window for the time being. Maybe your parents are willing to help. But please, address issues like this. Don't let it go, and don't let these things bother you inside. Because even though it's hard, it's better to just sometimes just go ahead and deal with things so that you don't have to worry anymore. Now, what should we do about worries? We're almost done here, guys, but I want to make sure that you remember from this presentation. Please talk to an adult. Make yourself a worry box or keep a journal. Okay? Do something that makes me feel good. Excuse me. Do something that makes me feel good. Try a little exercise. Figure out how to solve the problem. Sometimes you have to let it go. And please go ahead and copy this link into your browser and watch this video. You will find it very helpful. What I would like to do is I'm going to probably be sending you this link in an email to each of you, but this is also the link once again. So please make sure we keep these things in mind, and if you have questions about how to handle these things, please get in contact with me. And finally, our last slide. Guess what? Our last class will be Monday, May 23rd. We will not have a class on May the 16th because I will be out at testing, and many of you well, you guys are middle school students, so you don't have to take this particular test, but Mrs. Jeffers will be out. So I will probably send you another PowerPoint next week. So we will see you on the 23rd. Have a great week or couple of weeks, and do keep in touch with me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you soon.